Hello,
Hey,
Pia.
how are you?
Hi, I've been very well. How about you? Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for thinking of me. This is fun. Looking forward.
This is really fun. Actually, it gives me immense pleasure in having you today on my show.
Thank you. Thanks a ton.
So, to all our
How are
viewers
you
and
today? How's your day going?
excellent. Actually, just finished a few prayers. This is the Tibetan prayer book that I
Oh,
usually
nice.
and some Buddhist offerings and all of that. So to all the viewers and ardent fans of Pia Trivedi, of course, certainly you don't need an introduction, but let me take this wonderful, succinct opportunity to introduce to you Pia Trivedi, who is a ravishing actress, who is one of the most successful faces in the Indian fashion industry, also a former VJ, and now an animal rights activist. Clearly, you have assumed multiple roles, haven't you?
Yeah. Actually, they all came to me quite naturally. So, yeah, I think one should make the most of the life that they're living and try and put on as many hats as possible and try and do your bit.
Absolutely, because I know that you've had a very jubilant career in whether it's the fashion industry, whether it's video jockeying. In either ways, you've really accomplished. Because there is actually a myth that you cannot wear multiple hats on a professional front, but you have unabashedly proved it wrong. Yes.
Oh,
So how did you transition from being this to that so effortlessly?
you know, uh, Very honestly, I think it really boils down to the support system. I had a very strong support system. My mom, dad, and sister, they really backed me up in all my choices. I had a great team that worked behind the scenes, and they, pushed me in the right direction. My managers, my coordinators, everybody, and I think my friends always kept me grounded. I've always hung out with my school friends, and they always kept it real. They never let it get to my head. So I think all of this kind of give you the strength to try and don as many hats as possible and still not get carried away by the
True.
fame, because it is quite easy. You can especially I have also been very lucky. So when I started working at 15, things really sped up for me. I just went from one into another, and that kind of can really get to your head. But I think because of everything I just mentioned, I've managed to stay grounded and still managed to do a lot as far as the fashion industry goes.
Yes, because I remember our previous conversation. I remember you saying that I'm human first, and then
Yeah,
people just look at the glitzy, glamorous, person in me, but don't see the real woman. I'm just a woman. I'm just a human being. So
yes,
very, very important because I know, as you
absolutely.
mentioned,
A lot of people in the limelight. Um, what you show on screen or while you are in your career is is one thing, and then you're still a human at home. And in your daily lives, I still go to the supermarket and buy my groceries. I still cook food at home. I clean. I do all the normal things that everyone does. But this is the thing with our career. You kind of get blindsided with only what you see. So yes, I am very much like you, me, and anybody else
yes,
watching this. We are all human first, and everything else is a blessing and luck.
yes, absolutely. And I also think that you somehow, Pia, you have this ambrosia of youth. You're getting younger day after day, and no
Oh,
kidding here.
sweet.
I've been stalking you on Instagram. I know a reason for that is your health and fitness because it's like really good. So I know that you're super into health and fitness. So I'm really inquisitive to know what is your fitness or workout regime look like? How does it look?
So with the career and the path I chose, I had to stay fit from the beginning, and I was a very fat child. I have a tendency to put on weight. So
Okay.
unlike my sister, who's just blessed to be thin, but I had to really slog my way through. And the 15 years of my fashion career, I pretty much survived on loads of diets and a lot of working out. But what I have come to realize now, really talking about the present moment, is you don't really need to go crazy dieting. You just need to work out every day, whether it is some yoga, whether it's gym, whether it's a run or a walk. I think if you kind of maintain that, then it's half your job's done there. So it's not about like going crazy in the gym, which I have done because I was so scared to put on weight because my career was really taking off and I had to be a certain size and I had to maintain that.
Mhm.
So I just think if you work out every day, some form, it's great. And it's not only because of the career I'm in. I think everyone should just do some form of exercise.
Yes, I think that's very, very pivotal for all of us right now to work out. It also helps with blood circulation. And actually, you kind of feel like sometimes even I relate to this. In my community, where I come from, I mean, in an Asian community, you have these beauty norms and standards where you have to be skinny. And I am
Yeah.
not that person, okay? I've always been this average or maybe a little bit on the plus size edge. And I've always had that issue, but something I follow very diligently is a little bit of exercise and weight training and
Yeah.
resistance training. Tried all of that.
Actually, given the times right now with COVID-19, it's a lot about your immunity. So really, how do you keep your immunity up is by working out, some sort of a workout every day. Uh,
Mhm.
it, it's actually really a need of the hour as well.
Yes, honestly, because a lot of people I see are actually, popping up pills of vitamin C's, and they're like, okay, now we're sorted. But that's not going to help you guys. Listen to what Kate's saying. You need to work out because
Yeah,
it's really, I think it is an immune
it will
booster.
really help
That's
your immunity. And everyone's quite scared with the pandemic. Everyone's
yeah.
being cautious, everyone's careful. It's very new for us. We never faced something like this. So really, I think really in times like this, just take a walk, if nothing else. It really helps in your blood circulation, keeps your immunity up. It's got multiple benefits. I don't need to mention all of them. I'm sure everyone's quite well aware.
Yes. Very right. Very, very aptly put, Pia. Now, I'm also very curious to hear about the younger you or the baby girl, Pia Trivedi. Growing up as a child, who were you? What kind of person were you? What was your life? And did you always want to pursue, the life that you have right now, the career that you have right now? Did you always plan all of this ahead? Did you ever plan or schedule that, I'm going to be this person one day, or just happen like
You
that?
know, as far as I can remember, I always wanted to be a fighter jet pilot.
Okay.
Um, it was something that excited me. It still excites me. But my mathematics was very weak, so I knew I I,
I
I would not make.
relate to
I,
you. I have the same problem.
yeah. So I knew really that maybe that would not realistically happen. But then as I grew up, I also have older sister called Binal who is 6 years older than me. So she got into the fashion industry much before me. I was in school. And I pretty much remember my mom taking me to her shows because at that time my mom used to go with her everywhere. And I
Okay.
was too young to be left at home alone. So I would be having to tag along with them. And I remember sleeping, but in half in my sleep, I would see these girls and these lights and the camera and I was just in awe. And that's when I think the switch happened. I just remember these glimpses and I was like, I want to do that. That's what I want to do. And yeah, I was really lucky. It worked in my favor. Fashion and music, it's something that's really in me. It comes to me very naturally. So I
Okay.
really enjoyed my job. I loved every minute of it. And the thing is, the reason I put my shoes up is because I think I stopped finding the joy in it.
Okay.
So I mean, I was 15 years into my career. Uh, the industry was changing quite rapidly. I think I had that excitement and that the madness was kind of dying down, and I think I needed to try and venture into new stuff, you know. So yeah, so I think if anything comes to you with if you love it, it's your passion, it comes to you naturally, you should definitely go for it.
True. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more on that one. In terms of music, as you mentioned, do you sing or you play instruments? In what way do you?
No, I just love music. I have grown up listening to all sorts of music. My mom used to listen to ghazals. My parents used to listen to Hindi music, English music. It's just something that I'm born with. I love it. I love clothes. I love glamour. I love fashion. I love makeup. It's something that just is very, very natural to me. So
Interesting. Now, also, something that I believe is in your career, you must have had a lot of graphical rise and falls, and that must have added to your, quotient treasury of experience. Now, experience also, whether good, bad, ugly, is some sort of knowledge and education, right? So, what would be your golden piece of advice for young and aspiring models trying to make it in the industry?
well, really believe in yourself. The world is a rough place out there, and you will get pulled down. But there's only growth in the when you're pulled down. So always remember uh, to have a strong support system. Believe in yourself really firmly, and be a go-getter. Don't. You know, in school, my teachers always told me that you're never going to make it. When I used to tell them, "Oh, I'm going to become a fashion model," they never thought I would make it. Um, but I didn't let that worry me, and I didn't let that pull me down. In fact, that was my stepping stone to success. I kind of took it in my stride, and I said, "No, I'm going to prove them wrong. I'm going to do it," and I did it quite young. So yeah, don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Believe in yourself, know your talent,
Yeah.
know that you need to put in the hard work, know that there will be sacrifices, know that there will be ups and downs, but
Mhm.
strong about it.
Yes, because I think what you mentioned is very true. Because most of us think, especially as women, we berate ourselves way too much. Like you
Yeah.
look at yourself in the mirror and like, I don't like my nose, I don't like my this, that. So we always have negative self-talk. I think that is the core of everything. And then it's like the world has conviction in you if you have the conviction in yourself and your dreams. So I think I couldn't.
Absolutely.
And I think self-talk has a lot to do with the way we feel as well. Believing in yourself, as you mentioned, is very, very important.
Very
What were
important.
adversities when you started off in this career, apart from, were your parents okay with that? What was your struggle like? What were the lessons that you've learned along the way?
My sister kind of paved the way. She made it very easy for me. I think whatever problems my parents, if they had any, would was dealt with by my sister. But I have to say, I'm very much Indian. I'm fully Gujarati. I come from a Brahmin family, and it was quite. I mean, it's unheard of a Brahmin girl going on to do a kingfisher swimsuit calendar, or strutting the runway in a two-piece. But
Yeah.
I was blessed to be born with parents who were extremely liberal. So they always supported us. In fact, I remember my mom's on here, and I remember my father was so cool about me doing the Kingfisher calendar. But I remember my mom coming and asking me, saying, "Are you sure you'll be able to like wear a two-piece and do a full shoot?" I said, "Yeah," but you would expect your father to kind of tell you, "No, you're a girl, you shouldn't do it." But yeah, my father, my grandfather, everyone was very liberal and very ahead of their time. So yeah, it really helped.
Yes, absolutely. Now, I also know that, as I mentioned, you're very compassionate, not just to human beings, but also to animals. You are the trustee of Kaloti. You're one of the trustees of
Yeah,
animal shelters, Kaloti Animal Trust,
yeah,
and it's one of India's first ever cageless animal shelters with over
yeah.
370 animals, including birds and reptiles and monkeys and
Yeah.
donkeys. I actually came across really cute pictures of these animals, and they had their pet names like Choti and
Yeah.
Pandu. So these were really nice gestures. So what is your inspiration behind starting this? And what does it feel like to have a animal shelter like this? I also know that you have a telepathic communication with them, right?
Yes, I did a telepathic animal communication course.
Mm-hmm.
When I lost my first pet, I could not handle the grief, so I needed a closure, but it opened a whole new avenue. There's a whole new world out there as far as telepathic communication with animals, trees, earth goes. I think that we will leave to another time. But yeah, it. I think I've always loved animals. It started, of course, naturally with dogs, like all of us would generally inclined towards a dog first. And I thought, maybe when I'm 50 or maybe 60, maybe when I'm retired, I'll have this animal shelter of my own and finally fulfill a dream. But I was very fortunate to meet my founder, Samir Vora, about 9 years ago, almost 10 years ago, and he was already running. He was running a space. It wasn't a shelter. It wasn't a trust, and he was keeping his animals very well, but he was not really being able to take care of his needs. But I had never seen a shelter which had cage-free animals. I never even knew that that concept could exist. And he really blew my mind. And that's when it dawned on me that maybe instead of opening my own shelter, I should kind of tie up with this amazing human being and support what he's doing. And
Yes.
about 3 years ago, I moved him to a tribal village called Kaloti, which is on the outskirts of Bombay. And we made this trust and we created this shelter and this space for the animals. And at that point, we only had 50 animals, and now we are about 400. So,
400.
yeah, pretty much. And it's quite lovely. It's growing. It's amazing to be so close to so many different kinds of animals, to understand their behavior, to actually, go into understanding how they work with the ecosystem as well, and most of the animals are actually hit and run cases, blind or paralyzed, orphaned, handicapped. Most of our animals are really severe cases, ones who would not survive in the wild.
Yes.
So it's really it's a blessing, and it's amazing to be able to help them and to see them grow from a turbulent situation into a happy environment. It's very rewarding.
Yes, I agree on that because emotionally you now have, I believe, some sort of attachment. And I think people need to hear this. Just because animals can't talk doesn't mean they can't, they don't suffer or they're not.
Absolutely. And everyone there, check out the trust. It's called Kaloti Animal Trust. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. You are more than welcome to come and meet the animals. Of course, it's COVID times. So maybe when things get a little bit easier, you're more than welcome to come. We are in Maharashtra on the outskirts of Bombay. Come
Yes.
spend a day. I'm sure you'd love it.
Yes, I think it's in Mokashi, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Mokashi. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now that's wonderful. That's a wonderful idea. That's a wonderful way of not only communicating with them, but also I think it's very important for people to inspiration that if you have pets right now, just try to build that emotional rapport. And I think they also understand our emotions really well.
Yes, they're amazing. I mean, animal telepathic communication has blown my mind. I can sit here and communicate with an animal in Australia, and actually, if it's a lost animal, I can actually find it through telepathic communication. I have done many cases like this. So, I mean, it on that level, it's very deep. But just on a normal, everyday level, if you just watch them, it's unbelievable.
Okay,
It's
that
unbelievable
means you're
what you can
receptive.
learn.
Your energy
Yeah.
is that means.
Yes.
Okay.
We all
Interesting.
are. We all have it. We all are. We
I
all
think,
are.
like,
We just
yeah, but I think the transmitter is different in everybody. Like the signal, the way they receive it. A few people have it
Yes.
in larger quantities. Few people just don't have it all, or just have it very less. So I think I am also one of them because I'm very receptive to people and energies and
Yes.
places. It affects me right in the moment I enter the room.
Yeah.
So how has your life changed post the outbreak of coronavirus? Because I know now you moved to Goa and you're living a
Yeah.
very full life, and especially, you know, working on the animal shelter, working on
Yeah.
yourself.
I
So
mean,
how has it
honestly, post COVID, okay, definitely, I was already living a very conscious life,
mm,
but I think I've gotten more conscious.
okay.
I'm trying to really tighten myself and be stricter with
Mm,
being conscious in my actions, in my daily efforts. But I moved here about 7 years ago, almost 7 years ago, to Goa, and at that time as well, it was a conscious decision to live a conscious life. I'm born and brought up in Bombay. I'm a thoroughbred city girl. But I was always inclined to nature, and everyone always told me that, oh, you're going to Goa. What would you do in Goa? I mean, how can you live that life? What about work? And I was really in the peak of my career, even though it was 15 years into it. I was in the peak of my career, but even then, I chose to choose a life to live. I wanted to really live. I didn't want to live out of a suitcase anymore, and I didn't want to have everyday stress of office. And so it was really a conscious decision to move from here to the ladder down there, because I had to literally start all over again. I had not
mm,
done anything other than fashion.
right.
So moving to Goa was even then a conscious decision. And so starting from being vegetarian, vegan, not using plastic, recycling, reusing, um, uh, learning permaculture, which has now become a way of life for me. The principles of permaculture are amazing. Some of them are fair share and people care and earth care, and I'm very much rooted into these beliefs now. So post COVID, I don't think much has changed for me, because these are the choices I had already made. But yes, I have become stricter with them, because that's the need of the hour. And what's really amazing is to see everybody else doing it. It's really amazing to see everyone opening this side of them that, for whatever reason, they couldn't tap into. So people
Yeah.
are asking, about conscious living, about conscious food, about organic stuff, about animals, about plants, about earth, about growing your vegetables, about, they're thinking twice about using plastic. This is fantastic. Yes,
Yeah.
it is, we are late in doing it, but it's never too late. You have to
Mm,
start some. So this is really, really amazing to see everyone moving in that direction. Because
yes.
all this, it was really just a few of us trying
Yeah.
to, speak and make a difference, and now everyone seems to be in the same tune, and that's amazing. That's really amazing.
100% true. And a lot of people are like, Pia, they're like, okay, the COVID is here. You have a bunch of complaints piling up. But are you looking at the other side of it? Now, because of the virus, if you just look at the air quality index, if you just Google it
Yeah,
right now, look at the change.
it's
It's
insane.
massive.
It's
Look at the
it's
environment.
unbelievable.
All the birds and animals are on road right now in Bombay.
Yeah.
And it's such a big shift. Nature, Mother
I'm
Nature is cleansing herself, cleaning herself.
Yeah, I was talking to my friends in Delhi, and I mean, a simple thing like, oh my God, Pia, we can keep our window open.
Hmm.
It's been a lockdown, the air is cleaned up, they don't need to put on, their whatever they're using to purify the air in their house. They're actually opening their windows. I mean, when my girlfriend told me that, I was like, wow, we take so much for granted. We really do. And I mean, we're seeing the results of it now.
Yeah, we were actually quite
We're
blasé about everything that we ever had before. We were like, okay, this is life. But one fickle second, and then everything is changed. It's a good lesson
Yeah,
for
come
us.
on. I miss going to a restaurant and having a meal. It's just
Yeah,
something so simple like that, and which was oh, I'll just go to a restaurant. I mean, something as simple as that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's good. It's good to rework and reevaluate. Uh, yeah, times are tough, but I guess if we all hang in there together, we'll make
Hmm.
it. We can change. Be the
Yes. Very.
change you want to see. You know, I love that saying.
Yeah.
So you
Very
got
true.
to be it to see the change.
Yeah. You got to be the change to see the change.
Yeah,
True.
yeah,
I
absolutely.
know that.
You can't
Yeah.
just want you just say, okay, that will change, and therefore every no, you got to start with yourself.
Yeah, the action is something that we really want. So I
Yeah.
know that whatever you do it with great panache, you do it with great flair, right? And this is the
Is
question
there
I
another
ask.
way to do things?
Pardon?
Is there another way to do things? Shouldn't you do it with all heart, all love?
Yes, always do it with great panache, great flair. You know,
Yeah,
with
always. Everything in life.
yes, everything in life, or don't do it. Okay. So I know I'm sounding cheesy here, but what are your principles of success? Because every guest that we've had on the show, I've always asked this question because it kind of boils down to the very core of the content of my show, which revolves around uplifting people like me, or you and me, or anybody who are going through something. And when they listen to achievers like you or successful people like you, they can take back something more worthy and meaningful. So, what are your principles of success, and what does success mean to you in your life?
Wow. I think it's a couple of things for me. Uh, definitely, I definitely believe in the power of manifestation. You know, so if you visualize,
Mm,
have a goal,
mm,
uh, visualize and try and achieve it, you can definitely manifest it. Your thoughts become your actions. Uh, so, so manifestation is a very powerful tool that's worked for me. I also mentioned earlier that don't underestimate yourself. A lot of people will tell you a lot of things. That
yeah.
doesn't make you that.
Mm,
So believe in your power. Believe in what you're capable of, and you are your best judge. So you really need to sit down with yourself, and you really need to ask yourself if I want to do A, B, C, where am I going to reach my highest potential, and how am I going to get there?
mm,
And it's really going to give me 100% or not. You know, so yeah, don't underestimate yourself. Believe in the power of manifestation. Work hard. Work
very
hard.
true. Very true.
Work hard. Give it your all. Don't let there be a moment where you say, "Oh no, I let that slip."
Mm,
Because
mm,
I remember in the fashion industry when I was there, uh, I don't think I had a minute. You know, it was always on the go, always working harder, always trying to make it better.
fierce and rampant. It was quite fierce and rampant, very
Yes,
fast.
and still, you know, even when you're living day to day life,
Mm,
work hard. You know, put effort into everything you do. The results will come if you put effort. If you put no effort, you're not going to get a result. So yeah, be empathetic, be
mm,
kind. I really think the world needs more kind people. Be
mm.
kind. Everyone is something, you know, and you never know who you would touch where and when that favor would be returned to you. So
Mm.
be somewhere in your run to success, it will be beneficial. You know, be
Yeah.
strong minded, uh, keep it simple, and just follow your heart. Give everything 100%.
Yes. So
So for me, success is a whole lot of things actually.
I think you really defined your own definition of spirituality. I think what you're actually talking about is, in a way, spirituality, because the true crux of spirituality is actually being kind to other people, not just
Yes,
like self, objectives are fulfilled and then that's it. So it's more
absolutely.
about being kind to other people. Also, when you're on route to your own success, you uplift other people together when you're on the journey. So I.
Absolutely, absolutely. And success, the principles of success are a whole lot of spiritual, physical, and mental. So you need
Mm-hmm.
to find what
All
combination what works for you.
together must be aligned together. That's when you can
Yeah.
actually have.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what's worked for me.
Okay.
Uh,
It makes
yeah.
people. Yeah, sure. Okay, so but I think these principles are sure to work because they're true, and
Yes.
vivid truths always work, right?
Yeah.
I absolute delight talking to you, Pia.
Oh,
I couldn't.
pleasure.
I cannot wait to meet you again and go and catch up
Yes.
for even for dinner than the previous time.
Yes.
So a big, big warm hello to Rithwik from my
Yes,
side,
I will tell him.
and I hope to see you guys very, very soon.
Thank you so much. This was so much fun, and everyone who logged on, thank you very much. Lots of love. Have a superb day. Please stay safe, everyone. Be conscious, and see you guys soon, I guess.
Bye bye. Take care.
Thanks,
See you.
Tenzin. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.